It's that time again. Hello, welcome to another midweek message. 14 centigrade, which is 57 Fahrenheit. 94% humidity. Not surprising, we've had a lot of rain recently. And I'm just looking out of the window at the flag. A little bit of breeze from the east. Hardly anything. Cherry tree looks nice. All the leaves are golden brown. We're well into autumn now. Going to start off with a big shout out to Diane and Martin in Rustington, regular listeners. Ta-da! Sorry about that. Isn't that annoying? Do you find that annoying? I do. We're going to talk about fish and chip shops. Frank, nice to hear from you. He says, how many fish and chip shops do you have in your hometown? Well, I don't know, Frank, so I asked Chat GPT, and the lady there said 18. Now, that's rather a lot. Here's the thing. She said Old Nick's fish and chip shop is in Ham Road. It's not, it's in Pavilion Road. Another fish and chip shop she listed twice. So that brings it down to 17, plus the wrong address. So I don't know. Let's stick to 17, shall we? What Frank wanted to know was how many fish and chip shops were in my hometown when I was younger. I've no idea, Frank. There are far less now than there used to be. And I think there used to be more eat-in fish and chip shops where they had a bit of a restaurant or an area with a few tables where you could eat in. I don't think there are so many now with that. I'll have to look into it, Frank. So ChatGTP, she doesn't always know what she's talking about, does she? Rather like me. Marilyn, nice to hear from you. Marilyn says, I bet you a fiver you do mention the C word before December. So I'm not going to mention the C word in November, okay? And she's going to bet me a fiver. £5? Oh, I can say the C word, I can say C, but I can't use the whole word, obviously. Okay, Marilyn, you're on. I've got a little book here, Don'ts for Mothers, so don't do these things. 1878, would you believe it? Don't neglect to be sure that a child eats salt with his dinner. Let a mother see that this advice is followed, or evil consequences will inevitably ensue. Goodness me. Stone the crows, you've got to have salt with your dinner. Otherwise there will be evil consequences. Honestly, the things they said back then. 1870, it's a lovely little book. I don't know where I got it. I think Trish got it for me. Don't give your child beer with his dinner. Well, I don't think we'd do that anyway, would we? This practice is truly absurd and fraught with great danger. Not only so, but it is inducing a child to be fond of that which in afterlife may be his bane and curse. Oh dear. That doesn't sound too good, does it? Don't give your child beer. He might end up like me. This is a funny one. Don't let the babe remain for a long period in his bath. Let there be no dawdling in the washing. Let it be quickly over. Why not dawdle in the bath? Nothing wrong with that. Anyway, there's a mistake here. Let it be quickly over. That is splitting the infinitive, isn't it? You can't say let it be quickly over. It should be over quickly. So in 1878, when this was written, they split the infinitive. Is there any more about what the... No, it doesn't say what it's about, look. A&C Black Limited, London. That's the publisher, isn't it? Fancy splitting the infinitive like that. English lesson over. Let's move on. Many years ago, I had a book that was written in the 1800s, or when, I don't know when it was written, a long time ago, put it that way. And it was about bringing up children. And it said, when a boy reaches his teens, I don't know verbatim, I can't remember the words now, but basically it was when a boy reaches his teens and starts looking at girls and having thoughts, okay, get him to do physical things. No, not that. Get him to do physical things. Get him to chop wood in the garden, for example. Now, when I think back to my teens, when I was looking at girls, I don't think spending a few hours chopping wood in the garden would have changed my thoughts about the girls. How about you? Raise Rants at protonmail.com. Did you have thoughts about girls in your teens? Or, ladies, did you have thoughts about boys? I think we're going to dig a hole here that I can't get out of. Do you want any more from the little book? Is there anything quick? Here we are. Don't dress children as men and women. Dress children as children. That's strange because back in the 1800s, didn't they dress boys in frocks and dresses? I'm sure I've seen them in dresses on the telly when they do a reenactment, a drama or something, or old photographs. Boys are in dresses with golden locks. They look like girls. Something else that you may have noticed in old photos, I'm talking about the 30s, 40s, 50s, before that, 1800s, whenever. No one smiled, did they? They all had a straight face, poker face. No smiling. I remember my grandfather took a photo of me. I was about 4 or 5 in the garden. I remember standing there in his garden and I was smiling, like they do these days. Cheese. And he said, no, don't smile, no expression. And I just had to stand there, arms by my side, like a statue, no expression at all. Isn't that strange? And another thing they did, which is very, I don't know what the word is, it's peculiar. They used to take photos of dead people, didn't they? Dead children in particular. You'd have them sitting somewhere like in a chair. They looked as though they were asleep, but they'd passed away. Anyway, that's all getting a little bit macabre. Do you say macabre or macabre? I must just read this. This will be the last one from the little booklet. Don't confine your daughter to fancy work and the piano. Mothers of England, let me entreat you, rescue your girls from the bondage of fashion and folly. Oh dear, what does that mean? I dread to think. Do you know what that means? Let me know, raiserants@protonmail.com. I expect you're wondering what I'm wondering. What does entreat mean? Let's have a look. Intransitive verb. To make an earnest request of someone. Beg. To ask for earnestly. Oh, okay. Entreat. A lot of words we don't use anymore. It's a shame really, because the English language is rich with amazing words that have just gone by the wayside. Shame. Here's an amazing word, or 2 words. Doorbell. No, doorbell is 1 word. It can be 1 or 2. Alan. No, Len. Sorry, not Alan. Alan. I don't know what I'm doing. Len says, do you remember Clockwork doorbells? Yes, we had one. We had one on the front door. There was a bell push in the middle of the front door. I think it was just above the letterbox. You push that, and behind it, what that did, it pushed a metal rod through the door, and behind it was a bell that you wound up. You turned the bell itself to wind up the mechanism. So when you press the button on the outside of the door, ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling, and the thing slowly unwound. The beauty of that was it was loud. It didn't need batteries. It didn't need plugging in or any of that nonsense. Every now and then you just grab hold of the bell, the dome, and just give it a few clockwise turns, and it wound the doorbell up, which was brilliant. Very few people back in the 50s had electric doorbells. I remember our first ding-dong one, and something I noticed from an early age watching telly, anything American, the doorbells went dong-ding, whereas ours went ding-dong. Yeah, Len, interesting. I do remember the doorbells, and then I remember the ever-ready 4.5-volt battery that someone would prop up above the front door somewhere next to a bell, and then your bell wire going out to a push button on the door. Of course, these days they're all wireless, aren't they? Hopeless. They don't work half the time. And before electric or wind-up doorbells, people just had a door knocker, didn't they? Come in, or don't if you're selling something. And then there was the bell box, which was a load of little windows with little flags that would wave. Do you remember those? Have you seen? You probably don't remember them, but have you seen those? So you'd have bedroom 1, bedroom 2, bedroom 3, bedroom 4, dining room, hall, front door, back door, all that sort of thing on the little windows. And some of them would say master's bedroom or mistress's whatever, library, morning room and all this stuff. We don't have a library or a morning room. All the bell pushes rang 1 bell in the servants' quarters. So they'd look up and see which little flag was waving. We've got one in the hall. We've also got a candlestick telephone in the hall with a wooden box on the wall. I love all that old stuff. It's really nice. It's not wired up. It doesn't work. I could have made it work, but what's the point? No one wants a candlestick phone. We've got a proper phone. Having said that, I don't want the proper phone. I don't like the landline. I wish you could rip it out, but I'm not allowed to. I do like all this old stuff in our home. We've opened up the fireplaces. We don't light all the fires, only in the dining room, but we have 4 fireplaces in the house, which is nice. The last thing I want to do is board them all up so you can't see them. That was a phase, wasn't it, back whenever, the 70s or whatever it was, people would board up fireplaces so you can't see them, or rip them out. That was a shame. I remember people doing that. Then decades later, they'd go and spend a lot of money on a fireplace and put it back. That was a pointless exercise. Okay, I shall love you and leave you. Thank you for listening as always. I shall see you on Sunday, which will be nice for an hour-long chat. I don't bore. Do I bore you? raiserants@protonmail.com. Be good. If you're bad, don't get caught. Thanks for listening as always. Enjoyed your company. Take care. Bye-bye for now.